Kurtz is host of Media Buzz right here on FNC. So she advised them, the voters of New Hampshire, not to screw it up. And then she hugged them. She hugged the candidates. Which, you know, maybe if I had hugged Trump at the end of that first debate, we would have wound up in a very different spot. Maybe people are being too hard on her.
Would have been a great photo op. Look, I'm pro-hug. I'll even hug Starwalt if he's nice to me. But I don't hug politicians after I interview them. And the optics of Rachel Maddow embracing the two Democrats, you know, kind of made it look like they're on the same team.
I think if I was going to hug anybody, it might be Chris Christie. But he was too busy hugging President Obama. He's a hugger, like Rachel. She says, I'm a hugger. She sent out this tweet saying, there it is. If and when the GOP invites me and MSNBC to host a primary debate, rest assured, I am definitely hugging those guys too. I am a hugger. I have trouble believing that. Is it just me?
It's a little harder to imagine her with an embrace with Ted Cruz, but putting that aside.
Isn't it?
It is. It really is. But I'm less troubled by the hug than I am by a larger question. But first, let me say a couple nice things about Rachel Maddow. She is smart. She is passionate. She's a Rhodes Scholar. She knows the issues.
She knows all about the roads.
She asked pretty substantive questions. Yeah. She kind of ended on a polite note with most of those questions, which enabled the candidates to sidestep, and there wasn't much follow-up. But she should not have been on that stage. NBC put her in a terrible position because she is an unabashed liberal commentator who bashes the Republicans every night. She's sitting next to Chuck Todd, who's the moderator of Meet the Press, who's the political director of NBC News. And, you know, I'm old-fashioned about these things. I think journalists should question the candidates in these high-stakes debates.
Okay, but Hugh Hewitt was there at CNN. The RNC pushed these news organizations to put a conservative out there on that stage. Fox News said, you don't get to tell us who's going to moderate our debate. A position, I might add, Fox News has maintained throughout this ordeal. And we used the journalists. But some of the other news organizations, respected news organizations, said, fine, all right, so we have somebody who's not a straight news person out here asking questions. Who cares?
Well, I don't think the RNC should be imposing conditions on any news organization that's going to sponsor a debate. But the thing is that MSNBC is in the middle of this big rebranding to try to get rid of the left-wing label.
They had Chuck Todd out there.
They had Chuck Todd. Could have had another journalist. Could have Andrea Mitchell.
You know what? I find myself in the unusual position of defending MSNBC on this one because I think nobody is under the misimpression that Rachel Maddow is a straight news journalist. So she's out there as a liberal commentator. She knows the questions that the left wants to hear from these two Democratic candidates, and you got the straight news guy next to her. As long as it's all clear, right? What's the harm? Same thing as Hugh Hewitt sitting next to Jake Tapper.
Imagine the uproar on the left if Fox News had put out Bret Baier and Sean Hannity, an unabashed conservative. People would have said, this is your news team? Are you really a news organization?
Did anybody get upset about Hugh and Jake? Hugh and Anderson?
Look, Hugh did a good job, but I don't think the RNC should be dictating to CNN or anybody else who they got to put on that stage.
I won this one. I got to go.